Hello and welcome back to Drewid Plays Dark Souls. This is part 4. Today we continue our adventure into the depths. So to start off here, we're going to be walking around, getting back on track. Had to do a little backtracking, so we're going to go back to around where the Capra Demon was from last episode, if you guys remember seeing that. And there's another door we'll take that'll go down to the depths, which is basically a massive sewer system underneath the game. So this is the door we're looking for. We'll head down here. You can see there's a lot of boxes and stuff. Unfortunately, no items in these boxes at the moment. We'll make our way down here, and we'll start encountering some enemies. So we got some of the little hollowed characters. There's quite a few, actually, so just be careful they don't sneak up on you, because they're quite sneaky. Got a little large soul over here. That character over there is like a butcher character. They'll drop down when we go to a certain point later. Right now we don't have a bow, or we don't use a bow, so we won't worry about it. Make our way around here, just taking out these guys. Kind of want to bait them out as best you can. Too many of these guys will take you down really quickly, as you've seen in other parts of the game. Especially the torches. Alright, I've got him. So while we're taking these guys down, just want to remind everybody, I am part of the League of Apparent Gamers. You can check us out on YouTube at leagueofapparentgamers.com. I'm sorry. You can check us out on YouTube at League of Apparent Gamers. Just do a search for it. That's currently the channel that this is hosted on. We've got other content by myself and another League member, Alt, as well as some podcast content, including other members like Breck and Dustin. You can also reach us on Twitter at LOA Gamers, and we have a Facebook labeled as League of Apparent Gamers. And then finally we have a Twitch that we're working on called Lag Network. You can contact us at any of these avenues. We respond and read every comment we can. So please give us your feedback. We're open to anything, really. And any requests potentially for games to play, things to talk about. We're trying to do a lot of different kinds of content. So, alright, we're baiting this guy up here now. Let's get back into it. So there's a couple different ways to handle this. The butcher, I think, does eventually run up here. Let's see. Yep, okay. And there's some dogs down here as well, so you want to bait those. Too many dogs can just poison you and tear you a new one. So, alright, good. Got the dog down. I always like to top off before I head into a kind of a fresh area, so... where did he go? There's another dog. I'll kill the dog. Not sure where the butcher went. Open this chest for now. Always want to watch back. So large ember here. This is a very good item. This lets the blacksmith, the one we found earlier after the gargoyles, or right around the gargoyles, give it to him, and he can actually improve your weapons up to, I believe it's plus 10. So once you get a weapon to plus 5, you have to ascend it, which is what he'll do, and then from there you can get it to plus 10. So we'll bait this guy out here. Alright, and look around here a little bit. I know there's a few more dogs down here. Behind these boxes is a hole we can drop down in, which goes to a part of the sewer, but we don't want to do that just yet because it'll kind of throw you off. So, kind of jarred a little bit here. I had to pause the game for a little bit and go do something, so we'll continue on our way. We'll trek down here. Oh, there's the butcher. So they get quite a bit of health. You can backstab them. I believe you can parry them as well. I've not really tried. That overhand, double hand over cleave will wreck you pretty well. Let's see. Alright, just baiting out the swings. Cool. Took it down. Alright, so we got a couple dogs down here. If I can get my camera correct, then we'll go ahead and work on taking them out. Alright, got that dog baited out. Took him down. Good. There we go. Thought I got him. Alright. And looks like one more, and I think there's another hollowed character up there. Sometimes the best thing to do is just let them lunge at you, get their little free swing in. Even with, like, not a shield, you can block some damage. If you can dodge, though, that works pretty well. It usually just throws off positioning with the dogs for me. Sometimes a backstep works well too. It just you gotta check the distance. Okay, so carefully go through here. There's a character over here in those barrels you can roll through to unlock. He's I believe he's the Pyromancer. Yeah, okay, he's the Pyromancer. So if you free him, he'll go back to the Firelink Shrine. You can talk with him there. He'll let you do Pyromancy, which is the first way you can access that in this game. Unlike the later games, Dark Souls 2 and 3, I believe it was in 2 and 3 you could do it, but there's no way to make a character fresh out of the gate that has Pyromancy like in those games. I know 3 did, I'm pretty sure 2 did, but I guess we'll find out when we go to make a character for 2. It has been a while, so I was trying to parry that here, mess that up, so just try to not die. That was the other butcher that dropped down. Apparently these are actually females. Apparently. I don't remember where I saw that, but I remember seeing something like that. Also, I don't get hit, though. I keep trying that parry, but it doesn't... Oh. That I have never seen before. Okay, that's fun. I have never been hit by that attack, apparently. I really need to just stop dicking around and kill it, so hopefully it's... Oh my god. This is embarrassing to watch. I probably should edit this out, but... And I just keep trying. What is wrong with me? And there's a random corpse. See, this is what happens when you dick around and don't just kill the enemy. Oh my god, just kill it. Thank you. Alright. Sorry about that, guys. Well, at least we got the sack. Sack's just a silly weapon. It's not great, but hey, you can wear a sack if you want. It's just kind of a rare drop from them. So, that ooze up there, I don't know if you guys can tell, will drop down on us if we do this. So, yep. These guys usually don't kill you. They do a lot of damage. If you can mash your buttons, you can get out pretty quick. They're very weak to fire, pretty resistant to like any kind of physical damage though. Magic I think does well enough, but yeah. There's several spots here in the sewer where they'll drop down and try to get you. So you want to look at the ceiling, make your way through carefully. Now this is like kind of a gauntlet, so there's a ton of them up there, and you can kind of weave in between them or go really fast. And see, I obviously wasn't under it, but it'll catch you, so... Just do it carefully, bait them out if anything else, walk between them. They're very slow. They do attack you somewhat, but it's so slow you can get away from it quite easily. And if you have a master key, you can open this door right away. If you don't, you gotta progress a little farther, get the key, then come back, and then you can get the first bonfire for the zone. Definitely want to get access to this. This place is kind of rough. There's several creatures in here that are very, very dangerous to people that have never experienced it before, which we'll find those later and I'll kind of explain more. And now that we've got our checkpoint, we're gonna go ahead and move along. Obviously things have respawned since we hit the bonfire, so we'll kill this guy real quick and apparently take a bunch of damage. We're not gonna bother going back that way because there's no need. Over here, there's actually a little ladder you can fall down, or if you want, you can just jump down the hole. It's such a short hole, it won't even hurt you. Okay, can't open that door yet, that's alright, so that's a shortcut we'll unlock later. And as you can see, there's a giant rat over there. We can't hit him through this, he won't even try to attack you. You can even see an axe stuck in one of his eyes. Yeah, so I just fell down the stairs. That's what happens when you try to climb up a stairs with no stamina and then try to, like, speed climb. You'll just fall off if you're in a stamina, so be careful with that. Alright, so the rats kind of cower away from you unless you get up close to them or just wait too long. So we're going to start taking these guys down. And I got poisoned. Yeah, that's alright. Unfortunately, about everything in here is poisonous. Thankfully, I've got a couple coins, so we'll use one of those, get the kill, get a great axe, go back the way we need to. There's that little crap on the ground you don't need to mess with, and yeah, so there's a couple boxes in here that rats will jump out of and charge you and do damage and poison you potentially, so as always, be careful, be cautious, especially in this zone. look, more rats. There's plenty of rats in here. Rats are good for humanity, though. I don't know if the ones in here drop as much humanity. And I'm just gonna keep getting hit, apparently. Oh my god. Okay, so sewer chamber key. That's the one that actually unlocks that door if you don't have the master key, which I do recommend for people that are new to this game. If you want really the full experience of it, and you don't want to have to, if you don't want to feel like you're taking all these shortcuts and stuff, don't get the master key. Because then you're going to actually have to work for like the keys and stuff like that. If you want an easier experience, and with a little more open-ended exploration available early on especially, get the master key. That's part of why I like doing it, not to like make the game easier, but because, hey, I can go to Blighttown and do this other stuff really early. You can actually skip like the Taros team in that first boss we did. Not counting the tutorial boss, of course. So, we've got some more rats here. We got this guy is like a channeler, I believe they're called. That trident will spin, do some damage. They also cast spells. This was like the guy in the church that was buffing the little hollowed characters. You really want to kill him because he will buff the boss in the area below. And that's painful. I don't know the exact numbers, but I know it makes the enemies significantly stronger. And we got another rat here. Luckily I was ready for it and blocked, and that one just didn't know where he was going. And we'll get over here and get a large Titanite shard. So, large Titanite shards is something you'll need if you decide to upgrade past +5, which you'll definitely want to do. Weapon upgrades is a huge, huge important aspect of increasing your power. Even if you don't actually know what the stats do and you don't know how to build your character, you can upgrade a weapon and get it pretty strong. It will do enough damage to like get you through a lot of stuff. So keep that in mind. Definitely pay attention to the stats, try to learn stuff. Listen to my explanations here in the video because I'll kind of get into that a bit more. So since we have some time, we're progressing here, killing some stuff. You got a couple drop downs there that go below. Won't worry about those for now. So to kind of explain the scaling system, so if you look at a weapon, you'll see where it says the scaling on it. It'll have like anywhere from like an E to an A. I think some weapons have an S, but it's very rare. Generally you'll see like D's, C's, and B's. The higher that number is, the more scaling it gets, which is like, oh, okay, so this has B strength scaling. So the higher my strength, the more I get out of it. And it gives you more for your strength, the higher the actual scaling value. So you'll get more for your strength with a C, or with a B than with a C. Some weapons are obviously strength weapons, like the Great Axe or the clubs and stuff. They have much higher strength scaling than dex scaling or anything else. The dex weapons would be like the scimitars, the daggers, things like that. Those have more dex scaling. The broadsword, which is what I'm using, tends to have pretty equal but for both, so if you decide to build both evenly so you can use a variety of weapons, you'll end up getting a good amount of scaling for both. So we got an invader here. Oh, this guy's fun. So this guy has the armor of thorns, which I just died here. Okay. Well, I don't think I'll end up fighting him again, because you have to be human if you want an invader summon. So, we kind of lost some footage here, so I have to unfortunately skip ahead to the boss. So this is the Gaping Dragon. This is the boss of the depths. If you have the Master Key, it is not required to actually go into the depths at all. If you don't, though, you have to go through here to get to the next area called Blighttown. So as you can see, I am taking tiny little chunks out of the sky. This boss is all about attrition. He might have some weakness that I never really discovered, and you'll be able to do more damage. It might be the case, but he's honestly very easy to dodge. But if you do get caught, he'll probably kill you very quickly. Key here is just bait him out, get your swings in. So he's going to do a charge attack here. So we're going to sneak up, attack his tail. The tail will actually cut off eventually and give you a weapon. That's a very common theme in the games. A lot of the dragon type enemies will give you a weapon if you cut their tail off. So you'll see him rear up, plop down, and then he'll generally want to charge forward from where he's at. And then if you can get behind him and just kind of follow along, don't get caught by him. His hitbox is deceivingly large. So we'll get a couple swings in, if I can actually hit it. The hitboxes are very good in this game, I will say. Sometimes though, like when the enemies are attacking, it doesn't look like you're hit, but you'll actually get hit. But as far as you hitting, the hitboxes are very good, or very fair. So if you don't actually see your weapon make contact with the enemy, it's probably not going to actually hit them. So this is his flying attack he does. Just pick a direction and run. Try not to get hit. And then he has a little swing that, if his tail's not cut off, will go across most of the arena, given how large that tail is. So hopefully we can get this cut off soon. At this point, it's kind of a waiting game. This fight is quite long. I'm going to go ahead and show the full fight, though, just for everybody to see. If you need to skim through it, go right ahead. It's just going to be more of the same. You're trying not to die. Doing the tail. Alright, there we go, the tail. So, Dragon King Great Axe. I recall this weapon takes like 50 strength or some ungodly high amount. You never really need to get your strength that high unless you're going to use one of these really big weapons. And as you can see now, his tail is nothing. So, like, if he does that swinging motion, it doesn't do anything. Now, to comment further on the Dragon King Great Axe. So it takes 50 strength. You'll never really want to get that much strength, like I said, unless you use a big weapon like that. There's other big weapons as well. Generally getting 40 of a stat is probably good. There are some exceptions, but once you get to the 40s for your stat, you lose a lot of scaling per level. So, like, let's say I have ace scaling with a weapon. Well, maybe every point of strength will give me like 3 extra damage. But once I hit 40, it starts to be less and less. So like maybe it's like 1 for 1 point, or you need even like maybe multiple points to get 1 point. And especially after 50, it falls off hard. Like you got to get a lot of stat points to get anything out of it. So not totally worth investing in, to be honest. Getting that high, unless, like I said, you just want to use a big weapon, and that's fine. They do pretty good damage. A lot of them don't have scaling as much. So like this Dragon King Great Axe, excuse me, I'm pretty sure it doesn't move where you'll do the R2 when you're two-handing it, and it will just come down and do like a wave attack. It's pretty cool. It doesn't do a lot of damage, and it actually burns up your durability really fast. I think you can only get like 5 or 6 shots of it before the weapon actually breaks. So keep that in mind. So we're just still progressing on this boss. It's taking a while. It looks like he's doing... Oh yeah, he's doing his vomit attack. So just run away from this if you see it. It's quite slow. Usually have enough time. And kind of what you can do, like, obviously see he's following me. If I like run one direction real quick and then run back, that kind of baits him out a little bit. So here I'm trying to like get shots in on his legs and play around with it, but then he'll just want to do a jump move. Like, there's not a lot of variation to this boss, unfortunately. You can get your swings in if you're careful and can dodge, like when he does this like little foot stomps and cleaves. Really the best strategy is just to wait it out, let him do his charge move, and get your shot. See, he's just doing the same kind of like wide stomping animations. Just turning around, plopping down. Yeah, it looks like he's going to throw up again, so we'll probably get a shot or something. Well, if I can get my range correct, we probably could have got a hit or two in, but that's alright. Okay, good. So we plop down again, let him bait him. We're going to let him run, keep behind him as always, get my shots in. Like I said, very simple fight in practice, but just takes a while. I hate these kinds of fights, though, because I really don't like the idea of, okay, you've got to do this thing for the next 15 minutes, and if you screw up once, you're probably going to die. I much more prefer the quick fights where, alright, if you're aggressive and you're skilled and you can dodge all his attacks, you can kill him really quickly and, save yourself the hassle. You can do that slow and steady approach, but you'll have some difficulties, especially if you get caught. This is one of those fights, though, where you have to do it slow and steady. Because if you get caught once or twice, you're probably dead. Like, I'm pretty sure if you get caught in that stomp attack, it hits you multiple times and just really, really hurts and will probably kill you. Especially me, I'm not wearing armor. I think he can do some kind of like special animation where he looks like he's eating you, but I've never gotten him to do it to me. Because I don't particularly want to sit underneath his teeth, stomach thing. doing a little stomp attack. It's getting really low at this point. Just with every boss, don't get cocky. If you get him really low, don't expect to just run in and get that shot unless you know what you're doing. Because these bosses will still kill you in like 2 seconds if you let them. So getting pretty low at this point. Just get some more shots in. See, as low as he looks, we still got to do like a couple more rotations of this, especially since I keep missing. So if he did a swing, we can now probably get a shot or two in. Yeah. See, I wasn't even sure about that one. And maybe one more shot. See, I missed, and if I wasn't careful, that would have clipped me. We got it. Yep. Alright, awesome. We got it. So, get the Blighttown key now. This opens up the next zone. And it's between humanities and something else I didn't catch, but that's alright. So, we'll make our way back now. This boss as well, there's actually 2 people you can summon to help you with. It's really not worth it though, because he kills the summons so fast. You have to be pretty aggressive and use the summons to your advantage to kill them. But every time you have a summon, I'm pretty sure in this game, I know in the other 2, the bosses get more health. So be very careful with that. You can summon Solaire, and then the character that you rescue from the church that I kind of spoiled that kills the Firekeeper, potentially. They can both potentially help you, and I think you can have them both at the same time. But again, just be careful with that. Alright, so this guy's like a merchant here. He doesn't really do much for you. He has some silly equipment and gold pine resin. It's really just his armor, so we'll make our way into Blighttown now. Normally we would cut off an episode at the end of a boss, but we're going to go ahead and try to make our way in here, hopefully get to the first bonfire. And it wasn't until much later in this playthrough that I finally figured out, oh, you can actually power slide downstairs in Dark Souls 1. I always thought you couldn't. Oh well. Alright, so we got these big ogre characters here. You can parry them. If you can, try to kick them off the edge like I'm trying to do, but it doesn't work as well. Pretty sure, yeah, if you do this way, you kind of kick them. So if you aim it just right, you'll knock them off. So yeah, unfortunately, it's not going to knock him off at these angles, but I am whittling him down. These guys have a lot of health, so just don't fall off yourself. That's the key here. Alright, so killed this guy. So yeah, took a lot of damage to kill him, but he only gave 500 souls, so hardly worth it. Just gonna start making our way down. This is like the worst area in the game, honestly, for multiple reasons. It's got very high enemy density, a lot going on. There's a lot of just precarious places you can fall off without realizing it. A lot of cheap enemies, like these guys that shoot toxic darts at you. And toxic is like poison, but it ticks faster and is more painful. And it lasts forever, for the most part. But really, best bet is either take your time and work through it, or if you can start to memorize the layout, just book it and try to get to the bonfire, get to your next little checkpoint area, and so on. Alright, so let's see. Very good deal. Backstab in. These guys are really easy to cheese. Like a lot of enemies, if you can get them down once and line it up properly, you can just chain backstab them, and it feels kind of cheap, but I mean, you'll kill them at least. It's very, very helpful for like the Black Knights and stuff that you can find early in the game. And now we got this dude. And it looks like the ogre needs one more shot. Oh, that's painful. Okay. Did I die? Oh, I died. Whoops. Okay. So I had a ring on. The Ring of Sacrifice. Basically, when you die, it doesn't get rid of your humanity or your souls. You do still die if you were dead, I believe. So we're actually going to go ahead and wrap it up here. Thank you for watching. I'll hopefully have part 5 up pretty soon. As I said before, please be sure to like, favorite, comment, subscribe, leave any feedback you like. We appreciate all of it. Thanks for watching.